As you might know, straw waste is a real problem. Several hundred millions of tons are left to rot or burnt in many countries, causing massive carbon emissions. But this straw can replace wood in times when pressure on forests is already too high, and be used as an excellent alternative to wood pulp for paper making. Current processes, straw to pulp processes, are not environmentally acceptable nor economically viable. So our company has developed a biomechanical process that resolves the economic and environmental problems to make it economical and competitive with wood pulp at small or large scale. So how do we do that? First, we can use wet straw, and we can have the initial stages, or indeed all the process, near the installed near the farm or on the farm, and thus we resolve the transport, storage, and raw material costs. But this patent-pending innovative process is using 50% less energy than existing processes. And the equipment is simpler but effective, and it produces no liquid waste, but only valuable co-products and a competitive paper pulp, even in small scale. So the global paper and pulp market in 2015 was more than 430 million tons. And it's growing in packaging and tissue by minimum 2.7% yearly, predominantly in North America, Asia, and Europe, where there's also a real demand for alternative fibers and also importation of wood pulp or recycled paper. So we built a fully functional half-ton capacity pilot in the UK, and we plan, using directors' funds and successful grants, and we plan to build, to work on the development and construction of a large-scale, commercial-scale demonstrator plant, for which we will need respectively 1.5 and 6.5 million euros. And then we start licensing our technology and building straw-based plants on a turnkey basis for the paper industry. So we've received expression of interest already from paper mills, but also multinational pulp buyers that are ready to buy our pulp wherever it will be produced. And we have already 3 clearly identified projects in the US. So this will lead to the forecast that you can see reaching, that we estimate to reach 39 million by 2021, with about 25 to 30% profit every year. So our impact, our environmental impact will be to at least reduce the carbon emission by 50%. So now our team, I'm Florence Miremadi, co-founder of Nafisi Environmental Research. I'm a former engineer from a former École Polytechnique Féminine, so I'm from France. So we have our inventor, who is a biotechnologist, originally an industrial designer and biotechnologist from Cranfield University. And our other members have backgrounds in senior management, manufacturing, paper industry, and and that's it. But we work also with partners specialized in paper and pulp, consulting engineering companies. And so with our investors, we will be a good team to make this project a success. Thank you.
Why do you need so much money and to roll it out?
Well, the development phase is first the 1.5 million is to do all the engineering work before upscaling and finalizing some of the tests on the core products, because they are an important part also of the income. And it's necessary to build a real scale commercial plant.
CapEx.
Sorry?
Is it CapEx? Mostly CapEx.
Yes, yes. So that's yeah, the reason. And to have also, because our current pilot is producing an unbleached, unclean pulp that then needs to be cleaned and bleached. So that's what also we need to add to our pilot. It's using existing technologies for that, but this is unbleached and clean, and this is bleached and clean. That is exactly like the.
And is it cost competitive against the other stuff that the pulp and paper produces? Because they're very cost conscious.
Sorry?
How does it compare in terms of cost? What you produce, what the cost of what you make versus the pulp paper industry?
So the output will be equivalent or less expensive to wood pulp. Well, wood pulp is fluctuating, but we think our prices will be more stable. And on the capital cost, we are lower, at least 30% per ton of straw.
Overall, what's the difference?
Overall, well, it depends on.
How much cheap? 5% cheap or 50% cheap?
30%, minimum 30%, depending on the capacity. Obviously, when you increase the capacity, the cost per ton will be lower, but that's the minimum.
How do you manage the logistic? How far you have to go to collect, because you have quite big plants, and how you manage the seasonability or availability of the materials?
Yeah, so that was one of the problems really that made the straw to pulp not being developed as much. So one of the things is that we can use wet straw, so the straw can be stored outside. It doesn't need to be indoors, so that avoids a lot of cost of building storage buildings. So it's spread. I mean, every farmer, the straw will come from different farmers farming in whether different areas or in the same area, and they will each store the straw and deliver it daily. That's already happening for power stations that are using straw, but they have to use very dry straw. So actually, we would use the straw also that they cannot use. So we're really using the straw the farmers cannot sell otherwise. So that's a big advantage on the cost. And
thank you. Great.